Hey, what's up guys? Phil here from Inspire Fitness. So we have an awesome kimbap recipe for you guys today. We got 4 different versions. We got my mom here to help me out.
Hi, I'm Philip's mom. Philip is really reckless when he cooks, so I'm here to help him out.
Yeah, so we got 4 different types today. We're gonna try to make it a little healthier, learning how to make the macros from this to this. So let's get cooking up, guys. So the ingredient list will be down in the description below, so make sure you get everything before you start this recipe. So first things first, we got a variety of different vegetables here. We got lettuce, spinach, cucumbers, carrots, and Korean radishes. Up next, we got 4 to 5 eggs. We got 1 thing of canned tuna. We like to get this Korean version because it seems a lot more fresh. We got 4 to 5 seaweed paper so we could wrap the kimbap. We got some bulgogi chicken breasts. The recipe will be down in the description below. We got a couple slices of this low-fat mozzarella cheese. And lastly, we got this really fresh smoked salmon here. So now let's prep up our ingredients. Remember, we're making 4 different types of kimbap here, so if you just want to make maybe 1 or 2, you can just kind of cut this recipe in half. Just maybe use 1 egg and 1 egg white. We use 2 eggs and 2 egg whites because we're making 4 different types today. So it's pretty simple here. We just want to use a minimal amount of oil because we don't want too much fats in this. And yeah, just put the eggs on the pan and you just want to make sure all the liquid bits are kind of cooked in. It's pretty simple, you know, it's just like making like an egg omelet without anything in it. It's really easy to do. Just kind of wait and be patient. This took around 3 minutes or 5 minutes to make everything. This is just for 1. We had to make 2 because we're making 4 different types of kimbap today. But yeah, it's pretty simple from here. Just wait for it to cook and take it off the pan. So now that everything's all cooked up, it's pretty simple. You just want to kind of stack the omelets together. You'll probably only have like 1 or 2, but we had like 4 here. But yeah, just kind of put them together, roll it into cigar, and just use that knife to cut into make maybe like 1/2 inch slices here. You don't want too much egg because that's all you're going to really taste, so make sure to go really thin on this. So the vegetables that you can find in kimbap is the same kind of vegetables that you can find in bibimbap, which is another Korean dish. So if you guys want a more in-depth kind of description of how to make these vegetables and how to prep them up perfectly, just kind of check out that video. We'll make sure to put it in the right-hand corner right there at the top of the video. So now that all our prep is done, let's get into making the kimbap and assembling it. We're going to be making the first one today, which is going to be the bulgogi chicken kimbap. It's going to be really awesome, high protein and low carb. So let's get into how we can make this. So kimbap is all about being prepared. So you want to make sure that you have this kind of roller thing, and you want to make sure that the seaweed is already placed before you even put the rice down. So we got maybe around 100 grams of white rice here. Usually they use maybe 200 grams or double this amount. So we're kind of cutting the carbs in half by doing this. So just kind of spread it down evenly, wet your hands with water, it makes it a lot easier, and leave a little bit of tip of seaweed so that it can kind of stick together. So now that the rice is all laid out, you just want to put the proteins down first. So we put maybe around 2 handfuls of eggs in here, and then we got 2 to 3 ounces of chicken bulgogi to kind of top it off right there. We wanted to make kimbap really macro friendly and put a lot of protein in there, so we kind of stacked it in here. You guys don't have to do that if you guys don't like it too thick, but you know, that's just how I like it, guys. So now it's time to add the vegetables. This, in my opinion, is really what makes kimbap, right? So we're gonna be adding the carrots, the spinach, the daikon radish, the cucumbers, the lettuce, and it's gonna be this really awesome, really colorful kind of, you know, vegetable mixture. And you know, if you see in our bibimbap video, you kind of see that a lot of it's seasoned with sesame oil and a lot of it's boiled, while some things are raw, like the carrots or the cucumbers or the radishes. And that, in my opinion, creates a really nice contrast of like cooked vegetables and raw vegetables. It's really fresh, it's really awesome. It keeps this really awesome texture for the dish. So, you know, play around with the vegetables, see what you kind of like. So now it's time for the fun part. You just kind of want to make the kimbap now, right? So what my mom instructs here, she wants us to roll and then squeeze so that everything kind of stays in shape. It's really thick here, right? Because we really stuffed this one. So you want to roll, squeeze, and when you get to the edge point right there, you just want to get some water and kind of wet that part that we left kind of without rice so that it sticks to the other piece of seaweed. So you want to roll, squeeze, and eventually you have to turn the whole thing over and then squeeze one last time, and you get this really awesome kimbap roll. So now that we know how to make one type of kimbap, it's pretty simple to make the rest of the 3, right? So our second one that we have here today is going to be like the egg and cheese kimbap. What we're going to do is we're just going to lie down the egg, but this time we're going to cut into like this square kind of shape. Put that down so that it fits the seaweed perfectly. And we got that same combination of vegetables from earlier. We're just going to go carrots, lettuce, cucumbers, daikon radish. And this time we're going to add some little microgreens because it adds a little bit of freshness and a little bit of bite to the dish. And yeah, just like I said from earlier, the vegetables is really what makes kimbap, right? So it really adds that sweet flavor with a lot of freshness and a lot of crunch. So don't sleep on the vegetables, guys. So up next, we got the smoked salmon kimbap. If you're Korean and you're watching this and you're saying, yeah, you know, this isn't kimbap, yeah, you kind of have a point there. This is kind of specific to our family, right? This is what kind of my mom has been making me ever since I started working out and I wanted to eat kimbap and have like way more protein in, right? So what she does is she puts the lettuce down first, and then she puts the smoked salmon and the eggs. And these two ingredients right here add a ton of protein. Yes, there is some fats in it, but you know, this one is really delicious. We'll have the macros for you for each and every roll in the description down below, so you can kind of check that out. So what I love about kimbap is this reason right here, is what she's doing, right? She kind of customized it to whatever we liked, right? And kimbap is like a blank canvas. You can make it whatever you want. You can make it salty, you can make it spicy, you can make it sweet. There's so many different routes that you can take in regards to flavor, in regards to texture. So we like to use this combination of vegetables, and yeah, we wanted to mix up the proteins and see what we can do with it, make it a little bit more fun. And I hope you guys can try this one out. So now we got our fourth and our last type of kimbap here. We're gonna be putting that canned tuna in here. It's nothing special. We just put the canned tuna and we put like a little bit of cheese on top of this, which I think creates this really awesome flavor. Canned tuna barely has any fat in it, so we thought it'd be nice if we add this like low fat cheese just to kind of add on to the protein. So the three proteins we have in this one are the eggs, the canned tuna, and the cheese, and it makes for a really high protein meal. And like I said from the third version of this, right? Kimbap is like a blank canvas. You can make it however you want. Yes, these last two are very untraditional, but you know, they're a great way to get your protein in. It's a great way to kind of, you know, experiment with different types of proteins and different types of vegetables, so you can kind of see what you like. And that's really the purpose of cooking at home, right? You can kind of customize things to your palate and to what you like to taste and eat. So now that we have all our kimbap all rolled up, it's pretty simple from here, guys. We just want to get a brush and kind of brush over a little bit of sesame oil on top. Not too much here, because sesame oil is still an oil, meaning that there's going to be a lot of fat in here, right? So if you want to save up on the fat calories, don't put too much of this on. Just like a little tiny brush is fine right there. We're barely adding on anything. This probably adds maybe like 1 or 2 grams of fat into the whole dish. And right after you're done with that, make sure that you put the sesame seeds on so that it sticks to the oil. And yeah, you get this really awesome glossy finish. So much of Korean cooking is based off of sesame oil and that sesame flavor, so this kind of keeps it traditional, kind of keeps it in the realm of Korean food. So now it's time to cut our kimbap. For this recipe, we really stuffed it with a lot of protein, with a lot of veggies. So if you don't have a sharp knife, what's gonna tend to happen is it exploded here. This one exploded because we were just kind of pushing down with the knife. It wasn't sharp enough, so we actually switched to like a bread knife. You know those bread knives with those really like raggedy edges that are really sharp? That one worked really well for us. If you don't have that, just make sure you sharpen your knife so that it doesn't explode and it keeps its kind of shape and its texture. So there it is, guys. We got 4 different types of kimbap for you guys today. We're gonna put all the macros for each individual type in the description below, so you can maybe check that out if you're kind of interested in the nutrition facts of each of these different types, right? So I'm gonna say it right here. This is gonna be an untraditional version of Korean kimbap, but I think it's actually way better than the traditional version, right? So the traditional version is usually made with like, you know, the same ingredients like eggs and daikon radish, but they put like a tiny bit, like a little sprinkle of like bulgogi or like ground bulgogi in there, right? So we don't like that. We want to add a lot more protein into this dish. So I believe, in my opinion, these are better than the traditional version, right? 1, they're more fun, and 2, they're way more balanced because they have way more protein and way less fats than usual, right? So kimbap traditionally is just, you know, it is just one kind of note. It's just carbs and it's just fats. But for this one, we have a different variety of different vegetables here, and it makes it really fun and way more pleasurable to eat. So try out this recipe, guys. I'm really excited to show you guys this one. So we really hope you guys try this out, and yeah, we got 4 different types. If you liked the video, feel free to like the video, and yeah, if you guys made it, please tag us at Aspire Fitness Walnut on Instagram, or check out our blog at aspirefitnesswalnut.com if you want to learn more about Asian foods and how to make them a little healthier. So yeah, it would mean the world to us if you subscribe to us. We're really trying our best for these videos, so if you guys enjoy the content, feel free to share it as well to your friends, and we would love to see your creation of this kind of recipe. So yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one.